I wanted to record this meeting and just so I'll know what the heck's going on later on. But this page really is self-explanatory. It just had the rules for the judges and whatnot. But this is the page that's important for the judges. Um, I assume that how many judges will you have? Do you know?
Three. I've had three commit so far,
Okay.
and two of them, John Paul and his wife, have done it many times, so
Okay.
they're pretty bright and with it. So I don't see that as a problem.
Okay.
The third judge has might have done it years and years ago,
Right.
so I'll go over that form with him.
Okay. Well, that's no problem. They'll know to put judge number one, two, or three on it, and then I'll just go over this briefly for now. When they start on entering their numbers, if they use the tab key to move between the various boxes, you can see that it just tabs right down.
Sure.
And then also, it's set to when they enter the scores, it will tally it automatically down here.
Oh, great.
Okay. How many speakers do we have?
I think we have two or three at this point. I've
Oh, okay. Wow.
received a lot of emails back and forth, so things have been in flux.
I understand. Well, you can see that it will automatically tally these all the way down.
Hmm.
Okay. And automatically add the score together. Okay. So you just have to check with going by this, you check with the judges to see if they're done yet or not. Okay. Once all the judges are done, um, then you check with the timers uh, on this timers worksheet. Um, you know, it's like you say, it's fairly self-explanatory. Now, it's going to be my guess that most people are going to want to use the stopwatch on their phones to do the timing. Uh, but some people may want to do an analog time. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Um, but a stopwatch on their phone is going to be more accurate, if
Sure.
you know what I mean. They would just, if they're doing analog, they log the start time and the stop time and figure out what the difference is.
Sure.
It's pretty
So if they're
self-explanatory.
using a stopwatch on their phone, for example, they don't have to really bother with the start time and stop time. That won't make a difference.
Exactly.
Okay.
Um,
So they'll just insert the net time.
exactly.
Okay.
Okay. And then going back to the flow chart, you just check to make sure that all the forms are finished with the timers, and if any speaker is under 5 or over 10. Okay.
So question again. So the second box on the left, uh, it says judges add over under minutes. I don't
Exactly.
recall that the judges did. I thought that was something that the timers did or the tellers did.
Actually, it's in the past it's been the tellers that do it.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll show you why. Um, we don't want to have to fiddle around with doing the mathematics on over under. Okay. That's why if I'll complete this column right here. Okay. So right now this person has a 68.
Question. I'm sorry to interrupt, but as I'm watching you use the tab key to um, move on down the column. Now,
Right.
is um, each judge going to be on their own laptop doing this? What if they're on their smartphone?
Uh, I hope they have a laptop, or they'll have to fill it out by hand.
Okay.
They'll print it out and fill it out by hand.
Okay.
Okay. Um, we have to be a little somewhat flexible. But anyway, like say the timer, you ask all three timers, hey, is anybody over? And everybody says that speaker number one was over by a minute or under by a minute. Okay. The judges would enter, since it's 1 minute, they would enter one right here, and you can see that it automatically figures out what the deduction would be and gives you the adjusted score.
Nice.
It,
Okay.
it automatically does the math.
Okay.
Okay.
Excellent.
So, otherwise you need a calculator almost to get it right.
Okay.
So, um, so anyway, that's what that second box on the left is about. The judges enter that if they're doing it on the PDF. If they're doing it by hand, they'll have to do the math.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Because here, the judges would announce the scores slowly for each person. That's why I made, where's it at? This form up. Okay. The judges announce and this would be printed on their desktop, the teller's desktop. They would enter all the scores if we have three speakers, it'd be three speakers over three judges. They would enter judge number one, speaker number one has this number, speaker number two has that number, speaker number three has that number. Judge number two says, I've got this number, that number, that number. And judge number three has this number, that number, that number. Okay. Ordinarily, in a live meeting, the judges' sheets would be passed to the tellers and they'd have that information.
Right.
In the Zoom meeting, they will not be able to see the judge's sheet.
True. Okay.
That's why I made this up, so they can take these notes and have the information in front of them when they do the rest of the teller's worksheet, because they'll need it for this part of the sheet. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Okay. So going back here, the second box on the right, in numerical order, each judge reads their scores for 1, 2, or 3 speakers, whatever's there.
Gotcha.
Okay. And then the timers, referring to the recap sheet, they fill in. Whoops, pardon me. I'm going to enlarge this a little bit.
Great.
They start filling in these numbers. Okay. Speaker number one, who had number one, who had number two, who had number three. You know what I'm saying? So there'd be a number there, a number there, and a number there. For speaker number two, a number. Speaker number three, number.
You're talking about the total points by the judge?
Well, yes. Well, whoever's in first place. This is the number of first places.
Okay. So it's not the score. It's just.
No, it's not the score. It's how whoever has the most first places, as it says right here.
Okay.
Okay. And this is the kind of the details that we need to go over the tellers and the timers with, so they know what goes where.
Okay.
And what I'll do on Saturday is I'll have this same display up so we can discuss and go over who does what when.
Excellent. Okay.
And then if there's no winner determined by this, going back here, okay, you ask each teller how many first places they had, and if you can determine from that if there's a winner, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And if there's no clear winner, they have to go to test number 2.
Right.
Which is this test right here, where they enter their places. Speaker number 1 was first place, second place, third place, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Okay. So for each speaker, for judge number one, there has to be a 1, 2, and a 3, correct?
Yes.
So whoever gets the lowest total, and this is automatically tallied, or it should be automatically tallied, but they can do the math in their head, I'm sure,
Yes.
uh, to fill this in. Um, I don't know why it's not working properly. Probably it's not working properly because it's in this in this program. But anyway, that's beside the point. And then whoever has the lowest wins. And then I think one time we had to go to the third test. Um,
Can we back up when you say whoever has the lowest
sorry.
in test
Yeah,
two?
it states it right here. Lowest total places. So whatever speaker has the lowest total right here, in this case, this would be 6, correct?
Yes.
Okay. 6, one would be 4, and one would be whatever. Okay. The chances of it being a tie are slim. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
understand. I'm
So,
still missing something about why it's the lowest and not the highest.
well, in this case, the if a person wins first place, and second place, they'd have a total of 4. If a person won
Ah,
second place, and third place, they'd have a 7.
gotcha. Okay.
So obviously, the person with one,
Yep.
1, 2 is
Lowest.
the winner.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Good.
So it's a little confusing. That's why I think it's important to go over
Sure.
with the people what the heck's going on.
Okay. Gotcha.
You know, explain each one of these tests, how they work. Okay. Now this they would enter the judge's adjusted score in all these squares,
Okay.
and then it's the highest total
Adjusted score meaning the score after any uh,
after
deductions
any after
for timing.
exactly. It would be whatever is in the total adjusted score is what's in these squares down here at the bottom.
And that's only adjusted for the over or under
That is
5
correct. Yes.
minutes. Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. In our case, I seriously doubt if anybody's going to be under 5 minutes or over 10.
Okay.
More than
That's been
likely,
my experience, but why? I'm just curious. Why are you saying that?
because the speakers are going to be in a room that we have no control over.
Right.
The chances of them having a clock or something like that in the room is pretty good.
Okay.
You know what I'm
You're
saying?
saying they're gonna be cheating?
Well, at the club level, is it cheating? I don't know what to say. They have to try and be honest, or at least I hope they are. You know what I mean?
Sure.
We can't control it.
I totally get that part. Yep.
Yeah, that's why starting at the district level, all contests this year are going to be live.
Okay.
Okay, and there's no choice in the matter. I don't know how they're going to do it or how they're going to control it or anything else. I have no idea.
Are you gonna be involved in that next level?
Probably not. At least I hope not. you know,
Okay.
Sharon has asked me to set up and help her run the regional contests. I don't know how many speakers are going to be. I have no clue, and nobody's contacted me about the zone contest, so I really don't know. Uh, I'm trying to share these forms with as many people as I can. Anybody that wants any of this, I send it along to them
I'm sure. That's great.
so that they can try and run their contests well.
Hmm.
Okay. But anyway, this is why I wanted to have tonight's meeting so we know where we need to go on Saturday when everybody's going to try and be there,
Sure.
particularly the tellers and the timers. The
Yeah.
judges probably won't be there, but we'll have the forms and we can go over how it's going to work.
Lyle, on
Yes.
the package that you earlier sent during one of our meetings, I'm missing one slide that says timers recap of judges' scores from that package.
You don't have. I haven't sent that out yet.
Oh, okay.
That's this one here.
Right.
You don't have this form yet. I'll
Oh,
make sure everybody gets it.
okay. Well, just
I just made this
checking.
up. I just made
You know,
this
I'm
up
paying
today.
attention.
Yeah, no, I just made this up today, so I haven't had a chance to send it to anybody except Paul.
Well, that's okay. I just wanna make sure I have the forms. Not that I
Yeah.
understand everything, but it's good to go over it again on Saturday.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. You see, you're the only one here tonight. You'll be ahead of the game, so to speak.
Not so sure, but
But getting back to the checklist, so I mean, you go through each test. And by the end of the tests, test two, there's usually a winner.
yeah.
I think only one time did we have to go to test three. Okay.
Okay.
Um, so is everything kind of coming together in your mind?
Yes.
Okay. Um, Now, what you'll have to do is you'll have to set your agenda um, for your part of the total meeting. Okay, how you're going to handle that in terms of I'm going to suggest to Bob Lahan that he turn the meeting over to you right at the beginning.
Okay.
Okay, and then you go through whatever you need to do.
So when you say right at the beginning, is that what about the Pledge of Allegiance and?
Uh, 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 Before any of that, in order to dispense with any mumbo jumbo, because unfortunately the opening of our Zoom meetings is not real smooth.
Okay.
People don't pay attention
Okay.
for the most part, is really what it amounts to. And
So just so I'm clear. So does that mean we're just going to do away with the Pledge of Allegiance that night altogether?
That's what I'm going to suggest with Bob Lahan. Yes, I
Sure.
mean,
Okay.
if you feel that it's important,
No,
we can try and include that.
I think it's important to streamline it and make the contest go well. I think that's the focus. So I agree with
Yes,
you, Lyle.
and I agree. Another thing that I'm going to put in the invitation to the meeting is when people sign into the meeting and they enter their name, they enter their full name, both first and last name, except the speakers.
Right.
They should put their first name only.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
In the fact, just the rules, if I've always understood them, is they don't even give their names. It's just always been speaker one, two, or three, and I've always assigned a number to them randomly.
Are you going to have them? Are you going to assign the numbers prior to the meeting?
Um, well, the in the real live meetings, logistically, it's often been I grab the three speakers and any number of speakers and pull them aside and have them draw little pieces of paper and they each get a number. Um,
Right.
and I don't even necessarily know who's which number they do.
Right.
It's so much easier in real life. So uh, it doesn't matter if tellers and timers are in that room at that time. I just want to make it clear that I don't really want this. I prefer not to have the speaker's first or last name if possible. Okay. Just go by numbers.
Well, I would probably suggest that you assign them numbers. Just do it yourself, and send them an email and ask them when they sign in. Just sign in as number one, number two, or number three. That's it.
I agree. That makes more sense. It'll just be simpler. Okay.
And then you can introduce them later.
Sure. Oh yeah. So how does one sign in? For example, on the screen, I see just Paul. I didn't do that. So how does someone do that?
Well, what you can do is let me let me minimize this. Minimize this. And where is my Zoom window? Well, my Zoom window is shared. Here's a list of participants. What you can do is click more and rename. And then you can enter Paul Corby. And then it will show as Paul Corby on the participants list. Okay.
Sorry, I'm not following you now. Are you? I see a small box on the bottom left corner. Is that what you're referring to?
You see this box here?
No.
Oh.
I see your cursor moving around, but I don't see a box.
Oh, okay. It's showing on my screen. In your Zoom window, is at the bottom you'll see a link that or a word that says participants. Do you see that?
I don't so far. Like I said,
move. You put your cursor inside the Zoom window and
yes.
move it to the bottom.
Oh yeah, participants. Yes.
Okay. Hit the word participants.
Okay.
A list will open on the right.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. Hover over your name.
Yep.
And hit where it says more.
Gotcha.
See where it says rename?
Yes.
Just hit that, and then you could rename yourself anything you want.
Excellent. Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay. And that's true of anybody in there. Okay. Now when you move your cursor off of your control panel at the bottom, it disappeared. Is that correct?
What disappeared? So
the word participants disappeared.
Yes.
Or is it still there at the bottom?
It's at the bottom now. If I move to the white column on the right, it disappears. Okay. If I move back the cursor back.
In settings for Zoom, there is a setting where you can have that show all the time. And I don't know what to say about a PC, but it should be in settings. There should be settings someplace on the top of the screen. Unfortunately, I'm not able to tell you where it is. I don't have a Zoom open on my laptop. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But anyway, we'll work around that. And the reason the full name is important is, do you see at the bottom, is there a button that says breakout rooms? Just lower your cursor to where we saw the participants before. Do you see where it says breakout rooms?
I don't. There's a box for more. I can click that.
Hold on one second. Let me see if I could. Okay. I'm going to make you the host. Okay, temporarily.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you hover over the bottom, you'll see there's something called breakout room.
I don't at this point.
Oh, really?
Oh, here we go. So if I click more, now I have more options. Before, when I click more, only recording was the only option. Okay. Now breakout rooms is one of the options.
Now hit breakout rooms.
Got it.
You should see it. What's it telling you?
So it's create one breakout room. Obviously, I can change that number. And then down below, there's 3 lines. The first one is already pre-checked, assign automatically or manually, or let participants choose.
Okay, hit manual.
And that's for one breakout room?
Yes.
Okay.
Just hit manual.
Okay, so I hit create.
Okay, a list of the participants should show up. Yes?
Well, the same participants from before on the right column, but I didn't see anything new pop up. Okay. I see room 1 assign.
Okay.
In fact, it says breakout rooms dash not started.
Okay. Don't worry about it. I'll figure it out later.
You're great, Lyle. I so appreciate your learning how to do all this. And I don't want to interrupt your meeting, but before you go, I sure hope you'll give me a moment to try to get my video working.
Oh, just take your time. Go for it. I'll wait.